Hey guys, it's Bill from Linden, Tennessee. Alternate beginning. If you make it to the end of this video, you'll understand some more context to what this is going on. But I need an opinion. I need to, um, I need to get moving with this project. So I need to get these fenders and stuff painted or powder coated. I was thinking about taking all these stuff, all these things, all these pieces, the bucket and the arms and all that, just take it all to the powder coater and tell them to just do yellow. Whatever yellow you got, that's the yellow it's going to be. But then I'm thinking like, well, I could save me a few bucks by just sort of cleaning the metal off and painting it with a spray gun. I've got one. I could even use the booth at work. What do you think? Do you think I should just take a few of these pieces and see what they got, see if I can color match it with actual paint? Think I should just spray it or have them just powder coat the whole damn thing and be done with it? Or something else? All right, back to the original beginning. Hey guys, it's Bill from Linden, Tennessee. Long time no talk, hey? First of all, I'd like to send a shout out to several of you guys who reached out and asked where the updates are, and just sort of expressed some concern. I appreciate that more than you'll know. Thank you. And as for where have I been, let's see, a few weeks ago, I went to the Air Ventures air show in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. And that was really cool. I went there with work, my shop and another shop that's in northern South Carolina. They do the same thing we do. They have a builder assist shop, and they had a booth at Oshkosh, and me and one of the guys from my work and the boss, we were working that booth also, talking about planes, trying to sell some planes. And here is a little clip of the Wednesday night fireworks display. That was really, really cool. It was just kind of everything. They just sort of threw it all at you. And, you know, they started out, there was laser light show, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then they did some fireworks. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then they did the drone thing. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then here's this airplane coming in with fireworks shooting off of it, doing acrobatics at night with all this other crap going on. It's like, well, this is ridiculous. And then to top it all off, that viewpoint, I walked down to the flight line and out where all the crowd was, and they've got all the planes parked everywhere. If you see any of these videos, any other videos of this show online, it's absurd. There's thousands of airplanes. I walked down to the flight line trying to pick out a seat to sit, and there's this old 50s kind of warbird Air Force restored airplane, and I just kind of squatted down and propped myself up against on its back, on its one of its tires. And it's like, this is just crazy that this is happening right now. But it was really cool. I had a great time, and that's where I was a few weekends ago. And then last weekend, I didn't really do much on this at all. Remember that whole talk we had last video about all you gotta do is just come out and do one thing? Well, I'm struggling with it, but I think I'm more motivated now. Maybe, we'll see. So today, I've just been doing some wiring, and I think I've got it basically done. That's all that stuff, a little bundle there. It's a fuse from our 48 volt system. That goes around, goes up on top. Got those wires there on the right, that's for the throttle. Wires in the middle, that's for the contactor. The red one is for the power for this controller. All that stuff goes down that way, up underneath, comes back up. I haven't wired in the switch yet. And that's my little DC-DC converter. That'll provide 12 volts for anything that I might need, mostly for the lights. The key switch we talked about before, but it's got the first position is for the lights. the second is the ignition, and then there's a start feature on it. What I'm going to do with that, the lights we'll turn this DC-DC converter on, and then I haven't decided how I'm going to do this yet, but I could just have the ignition turn the contactor, or turn the controller on. The ignition and the lights are the same. When the lights are on, the ignition's on. When the ignition position's out, like where the key's at right now, the lights are just off. But in either of those positions, the ignition's on. So there's one way that I could do that is have the lights, so the lights will come on, and then have the ignition not really do anything, but whenever I go and do start, and then it comes back to ignition, now my contactor's on. So if I had it off, then I do like that. My lights are on, 12 volts, sort of active. In this position, the lights are off, but nothing else is really on. And then that would be a holding circuit for my contactor. And then that holding circuit would provide the voltage for the controller. So this position wouldn't actually do anything except just be a place. So I don't know, or I could just have it on, or have like that, lights, so DC-DC's on for the lights, and then just have it down here, and then the lights would turn off, but the controller would just be on, and I wouldn't do that at all. It'd just be on or off, and that'd probably be fine too. And the only reason I would want to do the thing where there's a holding circuit on the start switch is, A, it's kind of cool, but B, if there was ever a situation, can't imagine what that would be, that I would want to have 12 volts working but not have the controller on. Because in this case, since there's no water pump, there's no anything, the controller really doesn't use all that much juice. And since I will be using the throttle to set the motor speed, then there's really no difference. One other way is that if I end up programming this controller so that it runs in pump mode, that is, whenever you turn the controller on, then the motor just goes full blast. It just sends full power through the controller to the motor, and that's what this is essentially. That's what this would really be for, is for a pump, because that's what it is. That's an option that I could have. So if it comes down to it where having the throttle really doesn't do anything for me, because you use that to control your forward speed, not the throttle like you do with if it was a manual transmission. So that in that case, what would happen is this would be off, that would be lights on, nothing really happens with ignition. But then if you go into start, the motor goes vroom, and now the motor's running like that. So in that case, then I could have this on lights, nothing. Why would you? But I might not want to start the motor. Hell, I don't know. It really doesn't matter. I'll probably just do it like this to begin with, and then if it turns out pump mode is the most effective way for this thing to work, assuming that it works, then I can just wire in that holding circuit, and then that'll start it in pump mode. That's probably what I'll do. I'll just do that first and see how it goes. But yeah, that's that. And that's basically the wiring. I need to terminate these cables and run one of them over here and run the other one right there. And that'll be the end of that. And that'll be all done. Let's look underneath here real quick. Oh yeah, if you didn't notice, I shaved my beard. Yeah, some of you probably noticed, the astute viewers. But it was down to about the middle of my chest. And last year, it was really, really hot when I was working at RJE. And I cut my own hair just with a pair of clippers. But it was so hot by the time I got home, I'm still sweating, and I didn't want to take a shower and then cut my hair. So blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to grow it out for a year. So I grew my hair and my face for a year. And last weekend, I cut my face off. I cut my face off. But anyway, I need to tidy up these wires a little bit. But there's some little clamps for the motor cables. I'll do another set of clamps for the motor cables up underneath here. You know, in this general area, whatever. There's my controller, or my that thing. I can't reach the handles, but you're just gonna have to trust me that it works. One sort of situation, you know what, let's do it. Let's see if I can reach it. I can't reach it. The throw of the throttle is only about half. So that, and I can program the controller so that the halfway position is full on, but I don't know. That may be the reason why I end up doing the holding circuit and have this thing run in pump mode and just sort of bypass this throttle altogether. We'll see. I don't know. And I don't know, that's pretty much it. Tomorrow's job is going to be figure out a place for this DC-DC converter. I think where I'm going to mount... where is it? I think I'm going to mount it. We'll see where this countersunk hole is. I'll put another countersunk hole over there and then mount this on the back, sort of like this. And then if I ever decide to put an actual 12-volt battery, then the 12-volt battery can just go right there where it's supposed to go and got the little tie downs. And then since these are countersunk, the little screws will be back there and it won't touch the battery. And that'll just leave that as an option. And if I don't use that, then I can just put like a box there and, you know, just for putting storage in. Hold on a minute. Let's see. I got a little box. I wonder if that'll fit. Will that box fit? I don't think that box is going to fit. That box is about 11 inches wide. And that spot is 9.5 inches wide, so that won't work. Anyway, maybe I can make another box, make a box and just have a little storage area for gloves or, you know, working stuff. Or it might end up being a place to put another component that I haven't thought of yet. But anyway, that is it for now. That'll be tomorrow's job, doing all that stuff, and see you then. Well, okay. So like I was saying, went ahead and drilled me an extra hole right there so that this DC-DC can mount back there, and started wiring up all my relays and all that stuff. This is the one that's going to be for the light relay. 48 volts is going to go on the input of this, and whenever the key is on the light part, that'll activate this relay, and then that'll send 12 volts to the headlights. Yeah, I was going to put one of these little countersunk screws through there and then have a nut on the other side, and then I figured out that the nut won't fit there, so damn it. I could wallow out that hole enough so that that nut could fit, but then if this thing ever craps out on me, I'd have to do that again to the new one. So ideally what these are supposed to do is this would sit flat on something. You'd stick a just a bolt through the top of there, like one of those ones with Allen head in it, square head bolt through the top of there, and then it would secure on the back side. That's how it's supposed to work, and that's annoying. I'm gonna have to figure out something. All right. Well, okay, I'm still pretty annoyed by that. Some time has passed. So I started thinking about where else could I put this thing. I could just mount it right there, and that'd be easy, but if I end up putting a 12-volt battery in there, then, you know, that won't be any good. So, put this front grill panel on there, thinking that maybe I could mount it somewhere on there, behind the headlights or something up there. I even thought about putting it back here somewhere, but I put it back here somewhere. Now I just got more runs of wire going up there. It would be kind of nice and tucked away, but I don't know. So then I got to thinking, you know what? I'm just going to take a break on this. I need to take a break on this. Is what I've been doing for the last 3 months. I'm going to collect all these parts, and for right or wrong, I'm going to take all these things to get them powder coated yellow. We'll take all this and see what the powder coat shop has that possibly matches this color. And I'm going to get this and the arms and the bucket and just throw it in the back of the truck. And for right or wrong, I'm going to do that and just make some progress. I'll get that off and do the same thing. Get these fenders off. Get all this stuff blown apart, as I say. I'll fix that hole. I'll fix that hole. That's going to be today's job. Fix that hole and try and metal work this down so it's flat. And any pinholes or stuff. The one thing about powder coat is that you can't just kind of come over it with a skim coat of body filler to fill in pinholes. So it's got to be a pretty good finish. Get that off. All these things are all going to be yellow. And the lift cylinders They should really be yellow too, but I don't really care. I'm just going to either paint them black or just spray paint the orange, and we'll call that good. And I think that'll at least get me going somewhere. I'll try and get all that stuff to the powder coater probably tomorrow or Tuesday, and I doubt they'll get it done in a week. I don't know what that's going to cost, and as soon as he gives me an estimate for it, I might say, yeah, never mind. I may just have him sandblast it all, because I got this little paint sprayer down there. My wife, she used that to spray our kitchen cabinets. She said it's really easy to use, and it turned out pretty nice. So depending on what the quote for powder coating is, may determine if I use a paint sprayer or have them do it. Either way, that's where we're headed now. And oh yeah, so I took all this apart because I'm gonna get this will get powder coated or painted black one way or the other. And as I was taking these headlights out, one of them kind of fell apart, and on the inside of these things, it's just an 1156 bulb. I thought maybe these were like sealed units, but that's just 1156 bulb. And I got thinking, is there such thing as a 48 volt 1156 bulb? There sure is, and it's LED, so I don't have to worry about that DC thing at all. I'll just run a wire straight from the ignition switch up to the lights, and that'll be it. I'll put a fuse, an inline fuse, and that'll be the end of that. And just keep 48 volts. It'll never wear out. It'll never burn out. And if I ever do need a 12 volt system, then I can worry about that later. But the only reason I'd need a 12 volt, I think, is if I put a winch on here, but I'm not going to put a winch on here. All right, I think that's what I'm going to do right now. All right. Got these holes filled in. I'm no body man, but that's pretty good. I got my little Harbor Freight kit here, all my dollies and hammers and stuff. And this little dude was like 50 bucks on Amazon. Just a little, I don't have a very good air compressor, so I can't use a pneumatic little grinder like that. But anyway, that thing works really good for getting this down. I'm going to order some different grit pads so I could do a little bit more fine work. But this is 1/8 inch steel, these fenders, so I think it's much more difficult to work with than what like 22 gauge or whatever a car panel would be. I mean, you really got to whack the shit out of this stuff to make it move. And then if you don't hit the hammer just square, you end up with like a little half round thing. I tried to fill in a couple of them over here just with weld, but it is what it is. But yeah, that turned out pretty good, I do believe. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this fender off. I think I've kind of revised my plan. Problem is I'm just in such a hurry, I guess you'd say, to get the train moving, that I might not be thinking clearly on the order that the train needs to go, if I was to beat a dead horse of a analogy. So I think what I'm going to do, I think all I'm going to do is just take like maybe one of these smaller pieces to have them powder coat that in the yellow that they have. And when I get that back, then I'll see if I can maybe match that to a spray. Hell, I don't know. What do you think? Leave a comment. Let me know. That's it for now. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.